So let's start a movement from mask to no mask and take our generation into the Happy Environment Day to you all. Today we are in the situation of COVID-19 because of our negligence and not believing in prevention. So let's start a movement from mask to no mask and take our generation into the happy life ahead and stay happy, be happy, keep environment happy around you. Thank you so much.
Namaskar, welcome, Adab and Sat Sri Akal friends. Hope you are all keeping well. I'm Shonali, your host today on India Needs You fundraising program, episode 2 of Triveni Media. Our mission statement is to inspire and empower and to entertain. At the very onset, we would like to thank our sponsors for sponsoring today's show, C4 Integrated, Mumbai, India, Nature Bazaar UK, and Sri Krishna Varapao UK. We had launched our channel Triveni on 19th of June with India Needs You fundraising program, where our viewers, friends, and family had appreciated our endeavor to showcase the work of some people who are helping the people of India during the COVID-19, especially during the second wave crisis. Triveni Media was able to raise £1,665 towards the cause with the support of our generous sponsors, friends, and viewers, and it's still continuing. I would like to mention and reiterate that all the proceeds of our programs will continue to go to Indian Ladies in UK's India COVID Fund. Indian Ladies in UK, in short ILUK, is an NGO who support Indian women and in the UK and currently are working for India's COVID cause. They have about 30,000 women members on their Facebook group, and it grows every day. We will get to know more about Indian Ladies in UK in today's program and the work they do, because our guest this afternoon is Poonam Joshi herself, who is a founder of ILUK. Now, as the world fights COVID in the acute, the aftermath of COVID is something we have to deal with. Our lives changed not only with regards to our daily routine, the way we work, the way children get their education, how we shop, but also for many, many lives, it turned around 360 degrees. Many women have been widowed, many men have lost their spouse, and it's heartbreaking to say this, that many children have been orphaned. Our guest today, Poonam, has been helping the widows and orphans of COVID, and we from Triveni are starting the Sponsor a COVID Video and Orphan project to help ILUK in their work, so that we can at least help the widows and orphans cover their basic needs, so that these children can get education. Now, my heartiest welcome to Poonam. She is joining us today right from Uttarakhand in India. Welcome, Poonam.
Thank you very much, Shonali. Hope you all are doing well in the UK. How's the situation in UK? Well, I am in UK and I'm saying hi to you in UK. UK to UK.
UK to UK, absolutely. Situation in UK, it is kind of stable. The numbers were rising, but deaths are definitely quite less now, because hopefully, I think possibly it's because of the vaccinations, which were really successful.
Yeah,
But yes, we are hearing lots of numbers rising. NHS is, trying to meet the needs of everyone the best it can. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. The lockdown, as in the restrictions, has been they have been extended slightly. So we'll see how it goes, and take it on day to day, really.
that's
So,
amazing.
Poonam, how do I introduce you? Those who have watched our launching event will have known about you and about your work. Of course, no words measure up to what you are and what you're doing. Like they say, when you have fire in your belly, nothing can stop you. So nothing could stop Poonam, not even COVID, from going out of the comfort of her home into the community to help people. All the way from UK, she landed straight into the villages of Uttarakhand, India, to volunteer for COVID cause, and has been there since the beginning of June, visiting the villages, making sure the funds are reaching the people who need them. So
Yeah.
without delay, let's straight go to you, Poonam, and hear about your work.
Thanks, Shonali, first of all, for inviting me on your show and for raising funds for a cause that's very close to our hearts. You know, we empower women, we help women who are in distress. And COVID was a time when, um, especially the second wave, when it hit India. And I was watching uh, on television, you know, how people were dying, and there was shortage of oxygen or medication, hospital beds, etc., etc. And you know what really struck me was that if this is happening in big cities, you know, in the capital of India, then can you imagine what must be happening in rural areas where I come from? I'm from Uttarakhand, and also, you know, in areas like UP, Bihar, there are so many remote areas in India where news channels don't reach, where relief material doesn't reach, where there are no hospitals close by. The closest hospital is about 2 hours away. And that really kind of you know, what do you call, not motivated, kind of motivated as well, and urged me to kind of do something about it. And that's when I decided that I was actually going to go myself. You know, we had raised enough funds to buy oxygen concentrators, which we already donated, and it is always easy to send stuff from UK to India, you know, to the Red Cross or to some NGO that you can only hope is, you know, doing their bit, etc. So but I wanted to kind of go a step further. And also, as a journalist, you know, I always like to get involved in things myself, you know, investigate, do things personally, and also as the founder of Indian Ladies UK, having worked with so many women, hundreds of women, trying to help them, you know, I knew that when I was going to reach India, I was going to experience something completely different. And I'm so proud that I actually took that decision. I would have been here in May itself, but hats off to NHS. They knew I hadn't had my second vaccine, and they said, no, you must protect yourself first before you are going to protect anybody else. So they made sure that I got my second vaccine even out of turn. And I was asked to wait for 2 weeks, and then I just took off from there. And and from there, I've just been traveling every single day, meeting people. You know, I had also brought lots and lots of supplies with me, like oximeters, thermometers, BP machines, which were being, you know, put into kits that were being given to gram panchayats or the asha workers or the anganwadi ladies, you know, who go from village to village, so that if they saw, so that they had enough equipment to kind of test or look out for the signs, you know, if anybody was suffering from COVID. And we also funded some ambulance services, private ambulance services, which were then going to remote villages. And when I arrived in India, Uttarakhand had heavy rains,
Yeah.
extremely heavy rains. The roads were kind of breaking, and there were landslides, and there was, devastation of another kind also happening parallelly, um, alongside, COVID. So the normal ambulance service could not reach, and so we funded private ambulance services that could go and either bring people to a proper hospital, or else at least a doctor could go and visit. And now that COVID rates has gone down, there are not that many people suffering, so our vans are now going to remote villages to vaccinate people, because they are so far and remote that some people are not able to travel to these vaccination centers. Some are elderly, some are disabled, some don't want to get themselves vaccinated because of all the rumors that have been kind of making the rounds. So it's basically these private vans are now going with obviously official doctors who are, vaccinating people in their homes, in their villages, rather than people coming out and telling them that, look, I have had the vaccine, so there is nothing happened to me, so nothing is going to happen to you. And apart from that, livelihoods have been affected so badly. People have been out of work because everything has been shut for the last so many months, almost a year. On and off things were opening, and especially in remote areas, people have a more laid back attitude. There is no rush. But smaller people, like people who work in the fields or in the construction industry, in the tourism industry, I mean, for small areas like Uttarakhand, their main source of earning is through tourism. So when there were no tourists coming, there were no hotels, no restaurants, no attractions were getting anyone. So all these people had lost kind of their livelihoods, so they had no money. And what really shocked me was when I met these women, hundreds of women who have lost their partners, they have become widows, and the numbers are so huge, and their husbands didn't even die in Uttarakhand. These are people who were working in the cities, in hotels, in somebody's house, or as drivers, as cleaners, as whatever. And when they were working in the cities, they contracted COVID, and they died in the cities. And these women didn't even get to see their husbands' faces, couldn't even bid goodbye. And so many of them, it is so heartbreaking to see these women who were completely dependent on their husbands for as for their livelihood. And some of them have been left behind with 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, and some really, really, really young. And a lot of these women are quite young. The the biggest, the what do you call, the maximum aged widow that I came across was 33.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they are
young.
all younger than them, and there is no chance. There is no chance in hell that they will ever even think about getting married again, or um, and now there are so many different challenges in front of them. They don't have their husbands. They have so many children to look after, to feed them, to send them to school, and plus they have to now go out themselves looking for work, in order to to be able to kind of give their children a good future. And this also means that the ones who have younger girls will end up getting married much 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 earlier than what they would have than what they would have done had their father been alive. Or else a lot of these kids will end up uh, uh, working alongside their moms so that they can earn more money. So there are so many different challenges in front of these families. And some of these women are also now burdened to kind of look after their elderly in-laws as well, because the only person earning was their husband, who was looking after the entire family, was working in a city. And now they are left not just with children but also elderly in-laws. There is no scope of getting any kind of medical insurance, or there is no awareness. People are um, so uneducated about uh, what COVID is and what it can do. And until it hits a person personally, a family is affected personally, I don't think people are taking it that seriously.
Yes. That's so true, Poonam. Thank you for sharing. I mean, it's a width of experience which you've had over there, and it's like uh, seen with your eyes, felt with in first person, and like you were saying, the repercussions of COVID on these people are humongous. It's like so much so that we living in cities and in the comfort of our homes, we cannot even imagine in our heads what they are going through. It's really heartbreaking. And these women, like you said, in India, it's very different, isn't it? For the implications of a widow and a young widow supporting their so many children, and the children, being taken away from education to support their own families. All these aspects which we kind of do not focus on so much, perhaps because of the acute COVID stage we are still going
Yeah.
on in. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, so the aftermath of COVID is something which you're focusing on now, and which is somebody has to take it on, and start somewhere to address those issues, which are going to be
Yeah.
long term. It's going to be chronic, and it's a humongous task. So
It is.
I I had some pictures of you, which you had sent from Uttarakhand, of your
Yeah.
work and your literally your how you are interacting with the villagers over there, the widows and the children. I would like to show our viewers some of your pictures
Yeah.
and your photos. So can we please have the photos for our viewers?
Huh?
So those were the picture clips of what Poonam sent us from Uttarakhand, and you can see on the in the photos how all these people. I mean, I can see that look of, at least the look of thankfulness on their faces, that somebody is there to help them to look after their needs, and I'm sure it's benefiting them so much. You did talk about, Poonam, about giving them mobile phones. I think that was such a brilliant idea, which only can come from your head, really. Please, can you talk us through that?
Yeah. So, first of all, I want to tell you that these women live in so far away villages that even, I mean, it's a challenge for even me to reach. So, from the town, I will drive down about 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers to their village, and to get to one person's house you have to climb massive hills up and down. So my idea was to kind of come to one particular area and ask all the other women to kind of come there and kind of speak to me. And when I met these women, I saw that so many of them didn't even have a basic mobile. So the first thing I had done was to collaborate with the local NGO that works here with a lot of these women. Although I wanted to take the full responsibility of, spending every penny that I was spending, that was going to the woman and not the NGO. That was my utmost that was utmost important to for me. So what they helped me was they connected me to these different women whose database they had made. And when I went to meet them, I saw they didn't even have basic mobile phones. So if somebody wants to even ask, are you okay, they there is no way to reach them. They can't even call 108 to even call for an ambulance if they are sick. No way to keep in touch with their families, nothing. So the first thing I did was that I made a list of all these women who were without any kind of mobile phones. I bought them those small basic Nokia phones. Then when we started talking more, I came across some children, of course, who had lost their fathers and were, now single moms were looking after them, barely managing to even feed them. So I found out that some of these kids are very intelligent in studies, very good, and but because they don't have smartphones, you know and they go to government schools. So because they didn't have smartphones, they had to kind of walk 2 to 3 kilometers to the nearest to the house of their classmates, so that they could kind of write down the work that the teacher was giving on whatever it was, whether it was a WhatsApp group or online, however. So these women had just kind of mentioned it to the NGO, saying that even if we can get like a used phone, or somebody does wants to, is not working and it can be repaired, if and please can we get it so our kids can at least study. That really touched me, and I thought that any kid who is so interested in studying and is walking so far to just be able to get the work deserves a smartphone. So we went ahead and bought smartphones for some of these kids. One particular lady I went to see, she's a recently she has become a widow. Her husband passed away. He used to work as a cook in New Delhi in somebody's house. And again, she didn't get to see her husband's face, but she has been left behind with 4 daughters. I mean, can you imagine in India, in a village, a single mom, 32-year-old woman, and her youngest daughter is less than 4 years old, oldest is 11. So she is in such deep depression, and I was taken to her place so that we could help her financially, because we had pledged to kind of adopt some of these widows for the next 4 to 6 months, where we would give them 3000 rupees to each family, so that they can at least kind of buy basic food for their kids, because they are getting some help from the government, where some of them are getting the basic ration, like the wheat flour and rice, etc. uh, so I thought, no, the kids have more needs, and so 3000 rupees, I was told, each family would require for the next 6 months. And I had gone with a view of, maybe, and each family I was going to help, I wanted to meet them personally. That was my condition, that I want to meet the family. First of all, she lives in a very, very small room, like in a corner of her room. If you have any of her pictures, people can see that there is a little kitchen, like literally on a stool. She has a gas, and that's where she cooks. She's looking after these 4 girls. But this lady has not stepped out of her room for the past 2 months since she lost her husband. She was in so much depression that she's obviously stopped eating herself. She has even stopped cooking for her children. So it's the villagers, her neighbors, who are kind of making an effort of coming and feeding her kids. But how long can someone do that for you? So so I just looked at her and I thought, of course, she qualifies for the 3,000 rupees help for the next 6 months. But I think even more important for us to bring her out of her depression, because she is in so much grief and worry and lacks hope. Uh, and so I thought, no, we need to do something. I asked the kids, I said, do you not have a TV in your room? And they were like, we used to have a TV long ago, but it stopped working and it doesn't work. Uska fuse ud gaya hai, wo kaam nahi karta, and this and that. So that gave me an idea, because you see, when TV is running at home, kids are anyways at home, they are not going to school, everything is online, there is a lockdown in place. So I thought, it will entertain the children, plus it will distract the mum also if there is a TV in their room. So first thing I did was I went to the market and I bought them a Samsung 32-inch TV, and which I didn't have the strength to go back and make sure it was installed. I just left that on the NGO to have that done, because it was one hell of a hilly, like climbing up and down thingy to reach her home. But I, I, I think it is not just her. Another lady I met, she has also lost her husband, and she's now left with a severely disabled boy who is so mentally not okay. And she was really, really, really struggling. And she was another lady who didn't have a phone, basic phone. So I gave her the phone and I told her that you can keep in touch with this NGO or call the doctor. If he starts kind of going out of control, so at least she has some way to communicate. And I also then went a step ahead with this lady's case. Her name is Deepa. She has four children, the four daughter lady. I thought we can't just leave her with a TV and just 3,000 rupees. We have to do slightly more for her, because she would be worried sick about who's going to look after my daughters. And this was a case where her daughters are likely to be married off very, very young, because mother doesn't have any money. They are from the untouchable class, the Harijans, who anyway have very limited opportunities work wise, education wise, um, and also like shunned by the higher castes, and they have very, very limited choices in life anyway. And I thought, no, I have to do something a bit more. So I kind of told her that I'm going to adopt, because two of her daughters are already going to the local government school. So the youngest two, I told her I'm going to get them admitted in the local convent school which is in the town. And I said I'll also arrange for their transportation, so that she doesn't worry about how she's going to take them that far. So that's now being worked upon. And we are kind of not going to let this family, and there are a couple of more families that have really, really touched my heart, and I thought that these people really need help. So we have gone ahead and kind of started thinking of a long term help. Also, we don't want these people to simply live on charity. We want these women to be empowered. So these local NGOs are also going to make sure that these women come and start kind of working in their in their projects where they sell, organic haldi, organic chili powder, cardamom, black pepper, rice, this, that. There are so many different products, and they do hand knitting, sweaters and all those kind of things. They make scarves. So
Yeah,
they said that they,
that would have been my next question as to how are we going to help them sustain their livelihood? Because, like you said, giving quick fixes is not enough for them. It's just for momentary. But in the long term, how do we address their issues? How do we help them maintain their livelihood? Yeah,
yeah. Though, so although there this small charity is working to and trying to empower these women, but they also have limitations.
yeah,
They can't give employment to every woman,
no,
because every woman is going to make a product, but where is that product going to sell?
yeah,
So that is where people like us come into the picture, where we pledge that we are going to buy things from them, or stuff worth at least this much every month from these women directly, whether it's a sweater, whether it's a scarf, whether it's a runner, or a cushion cover, or haldi, or tea. I even went to a tea estate that has promised me, and I told them, I said, I am going to buy your tea. Are you, will you promise me that you will give employment to at least, 50 to 70 women? And he's like, yes, definitely, I will. And he already sent me like photos and videos of women that he's already recruiting them.
wow,
So as
oh,
NRI, we are quick to kind of donate. Oh, okay, £10 from me, £20 from me, £50 from me, for this project, that project. Let's make it sustainable for them.
mm,
Let us use organic Indian products, which are, anything in Uttarakhand is so pure. You
yeah,
compare it to the stuff that we get in the cities, the smell, the aroma, the texture, the taste,
absolutely. Un
everything is
unadulterated
divine.
stuff,
Hmm?
totally unadulterated stuff we get there, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Because it is getting done right in front of your eyes.
yeah,
And I, in fact, told my brother who lives here in Uttarakhand, in Ranikhet, and I was like, you have to help me find these women that we can empower. We can just, because if people like us are going to buy from them, of course we will buy in pounds. That will mean that these women will get good price for their products as well,
yeah,
as compared to if they will sell it in India. They will probably get 50 rupees, 60 rupees. We It will, like, everybody is going to benefit if this happens. This
yeah,
is a proper sustainability project that I want to work upon, along with passionate people like yourself and Shibani and so many other team members that I have who work in ILUK with me. And I
absolutely.
think we women, group of women, can really, really change
Yeah,
lives and make a huge impact in society. Empower these
absolutely.
women.
Absolutely. And that is what we should take on. Like you said, just donating money is not enough. There should be some people who actually make sure that that money is being used, that this money is reaching the people and it's reaching for them in the long run, to have an impact in the long run. And
Yeah,
so with regards to the products from Uttarakhand, I remember we were having a discussion where we were talking of samples, where you could get some samples for us to,
I am getting some
try
kind of
out.
sample.
And
Yeah.
definitely, I'm sure so many of us here would be interested. One is it's going for a good cause. Secondly, it is really good quality, and it is
It is
right
good for
from
us.
where.
It's going to be good for
Absolutely,
our health, our family's health.
absolutely,
At
absolutely.
least we are using unadulterated stuff. Look at the chili powder. I am shocked the chili powder that we use is so powdery and so red, and it doesn't have any taste. And the
Yeah.
one that I am bringing, it is kind of little orangish. You see the texture. You can actually smell. When you smell, you smell chilies.
Yeah.
But when you open a packet that we cut, which is TRC or whatever brand we get in the UK, I don't get any smell.
No.
It's like, I even with Aldi,
Yeah. Absolutely.
seriously, I was just amazed the kind of stuff that is available here and what we are using. I'm never going to go buy anything, any masala from
I
from the
think
UK ever again.
I think all those women over there and everyone, in fact, who are watching us, who are listening to Poonam, and she's vouching for the quality. And like we said, in these days, to get pure stuff is a privilege, really, because we are so much
Mm.
dependent on stuff bought from whatever we get in the supermarkets. Not, I'm not saying that their quality is less, but then when it comes right from the source and made by people who we are trying to help, it is, I think it goes all the way to making it more special.
In my own, I have an ancestral home here in Rani Khet, and I can already see all my uncles and aunts. We have areas where they are dedicated for growing organic vegetables. Everything that's cooked in the house is plugged from our field right
Oh,
in front of the
wow.
house. Today is brinjal day, tomorrow is cauliflower day, cabbage day, radish,
Wow.
chili, you name it, and everything is growing at home. It is
Wow.
just out of this world, which is why I love this place so much. And the air is pure, and uh, so and if these women are actually growing stuff also in
Yeah.
their homes, and if we can empower them
Yes.
by buying stuff from them at
Yes,
a
absolutely. And
you know
the interesting thing is that they are not aware that it's organic or inorganic. It just is how it is, how they make it, or they've always made it generation wise,
yeah, generally they just use it like that only.
Yes. So,
So
yes.
it is just it has
Oh, it's,
been such an eye-opening experience. It has really, and I also met up with a lot of doctors, a lot of individuals who have been working in different villages. I also kind of went and distributed kind of essential stuff and all that. So these doctors are already talking about setting up regular camps after COVID is over, regular camps about awareness about um, health of women. He said,
mm,
I want every woman to have a certain hemoglobin. They are anemic, and they
yeah,
don't even know, and they don't do anything about it
yes,
because they are not aware, so they don't do
yes,
anything about it. So we have to make sure that every kid in these villages is well fed and not malnutritioned, and every woman has a is fit and well, because they work so hard. You cannot imagine how
yes,
hard women in villages work.
absolutely. It's all manual labor, isn't it, for them? And
Yes.
so, across how many villages have you worked so far, Poonam?
Oh, I have been to I have been to about 10 to 50, 10, 12 villages. But
Wow.
the thing is, yeah, those are the number of villages I was able to go to. But there are women that I have to sometimes call from their village
Mm,
and ask them to meet me on the road, and then we sit on the grass, and like that's where we have our conversations,
yeah.
because some villages are so far and such a trek, that is hike, that I look at the hill and I said, sorry. I can't walk that much. Can she come? And they come running from there. So sometimes we just collect them in one place and we just kind of talk to them. A lot of women I also called at the local NGO, where I handed out stuff to them. Many I have not been able to even meet because they live extremely far, maybe 100 kilometers away. But I've tried to meet as many women as possible. Some are unable to come because they have to clean dishes in a shop or in a local hotel or something like that. So that also breaks my heart. But so I meet their children or I meet them or somehow like I'm still meeting a lot of them. So it's an ongoing thing. And I do hope I'm able to kind of connect with a lot of these women. And another thing I saw, a lot of these women whom I went to meet, the ones whose houses I was able to go to, their houses are literally falling apart
Mm,
because as it is they are poor. COVID has made sure they have no work, husband is gone, and the weather is kind of,
yeah.
I was so scared to climb the stairs and go into their house because I was scared the whole house was going to collapse, and they are living there. I will send you some pictures, they are
Yeah.
shocking. And
Oh,
their mental health, they are not even aware that they are mentally not okay. So there is one woman who came to see me. She was talking fine with me, she was wearing a nice sari and like she was decently dressed, and she had also come to see me if I could help her with the 3,000 per month help. And I just thought there was something amiss, and I requested if I could go and visit her home. And I went and visited her home. I could just get what kind of mental uh what do you call state she was in. Her house was turned upside down, dirty, things were lying everywhere, toothpaste was on the bed. Anyway, these women live in just one room, but even that room was just completely, you can tell a person's state of mind by just looking at their room.
true. Absolutely true.
I said, no, there is a little bit more. We have to help her a bit more, much more than just the 3,000 rupees. So I'm not
So,
sure if I can get her roof fixed, which is leaking, which was leaking and will hopefully start leaking again because the rains will restart. They have stopped for a week now. But yeah, we have to also look after her well-being, mental well-being.
so these things which you're talking about are multiple layers of challenges, isn't it? One after another, one over another, piled up, and it's so difficult for them to actually make sense of the whole picture as to where to start addressing those needs from.
The last time after I went to see her house, she came to see me, and she had also been bitten by a dog,
Oh my God.
by somebody's dog, and she was in
Oh no.
so much pain. She was showing me her leg, she was bitten, and she's telling me that the person whose dog bit me gave me 200 rupees. I threw that 200 rupees on his face and I said, I don't need your money. And I came and I got myself, vaccinated or something, some injection they have to take.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, no, 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 we have to go and speak to that dog owner and get her some more compensation. But these women don't even know about their rights,
Mm.
they don't even
Yes.
know if we
No.
can. And she was like even scared of even going and confronting the dog owner, thinking that, oh, the all the villagers are going to then come after her, saying, why did you put the guy in trouble by complaining about her? So
Yeah.
there are so many different layers, like you said, social dilemma, What
Mm.
will society think? What will society do? Oh my
Yeah.
God, I don't want to go against the the tide. Like I just want to just be part of this, even if it means I end up suffering. I
Yes.
still have to live like
Yes.
that.
Absolutely. And like you said, they are not aware of their of the probably the depth of their suffering in a way because they are so much used to that kind of living that they can't advocate for their own selves.
No.
So uh, with awareness would come the power, the strength to advocate for their own selves and their own people and family and children and the community at large. So that is where I think you are getting in and making them aware that these are the things which you are having difficulty with and needs addressing and can be addressed, can be helped and supported.
And also, this is why it's important that their children are educated, so that if they
Yes,
can't see themselves, then at least somebody in their home can tell them that, what's happening to you is not right. You know,
yes,
so why did you take this or that, or this is what you are eligible for, or whatever. Like they can tell their moms. So this is why
absolutely.
it's also important to empower the children along with these women.
With this note, we have some pictures of you taking these children to the shops to get mobile phones. I've grouped them separately so that we can show our viewers. So can we have those pictures now?
This is a late.
Oh, isn't that amazing? Look at I can feel, the thrill in them.
Wow.
How
I have learned
lovely.
more today now. But the thing is, like, they were so happy, so happy. And now they have been like video calling me and thanking me and calling me, ma'am, ma'am,
Wow.
ma'am, ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
I think it's
And
added a different another dimension to their life, isn't it? And
absolutely.
the connectivity with the whole world at large. Wow, it's something which is so practical, a practical fix, but so impactful.
Yeah.
I
And,
mean, and so
giving
not
them
but
these kind
and
of
so impactful.
giving them these kind of devices is also going to make them, explore or watch stuff that they should be watching. There is
Yes,
so much stuff. I know there is a lot of crap out there, but there are so many informative things that they can watch.
yes,
What is happening, what kind of help is available, or just even entertainment stuff, how to dress
yeah,
up, how to talk, how to, you know um, uh, just
yeah,
use technology,
yes,
because using use of technology is one of the most basic things in
yeah,
today's day and age.
absolutely.
So
It's
I think it's
opening
definitely
up a
going to.
window for them to the world, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And when they are going to video call me, even once I'm in the UK. In fact, I was even thinking that we women who are living abroad, we always wish our kids could speak our local language like Hindi, Bengali, whatever. And these are the children who are sitting in villages who can actually speak very well. We could start a cultural exchange with them. Now
Mm,
they have
yeah.
a smartphone. Our children have smartphones. Our kids can teach them English. They can teach our children Hindi.
Absolutely,
That kind
absolutely.
of exchange could also, happen. So there are
What
so many different
what a
ideas.
brilliant what a brilliant idea, Poonam. Again, yet another idea. So, so
So these
yeah,
are
yeah,
things,
why not?
these kind of ideas have been floating in my head, thinking, what can we do more? How can we kind of really, even if we can change lives of 10 children, even,
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
would be something.
So yeah, So you have been, driving to all these interior places amidst heavy rain, severe landslides. You have been facing a lot of challenges, not only from the weather, not only from COVID, but I'm sure there have been other kind of challenges which you faced from, um, uh, I don't know from where, but probably you would like to talk to us about them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, some of the challenges have been extremely bad roads, slippery roads, and and I have been driving on my own because I didn't want to kind of take a driver with me, for the driver to walk into some cigarette pan shop or some hotel to have tea and bring Corona, COVID for me and give it to me. So I decided I was going to drive myself, and
Wow.
I've been driving from Delhi. By now, I must have driven about 2,000 kilometers.
Wow.
Uh, plus, if not less. And I drove from Delhi to Ranikhet, and from Ranikhet to Pithoragarh, Berinag, and Gagas and Machkali and Bhawali, and God knows which all places I've just been driving to. And these people say, "Ma'am, that lady lives a bit far." So I'm like, "How far?" 15 kilometers from here. Oh, 15 kilometers is nothing. We can do it. Come on. And the roads are so, like this zigzag roads. Hill driving is always a challenge. But
Always
if
a
it's raining, it becomes even bigger challenge because the visibility is so poor, and the roads are slippery, and landslide starts happening, and you never know when something is going to fall in front of your car or on top of your car. But these are the risks you have to kind of take. Also, I have to keep testing myself every 2 days that I to make sure that I don't have COVID. I
yeah.
know in some places I removed my mask as well, but that was also, I know I put my life in risk. Or but these are people who have not stepped out of their homes to do work for months. Kids have
Mm,
not been going to school. They are fine. They don't didn't have COVID, but I took that risk because just to kind of reach out to them. When you speak to somebody from behind a mask, um, there is always that wall that separates you
mm,
from other people. So in sometimes, not sometimes, like after a while, I would kind of distance myself from them, but I would remove my mask and then talk to them
yeah.
so that they can see my face, they can see my expressions, they can
Yes.
see that I am a real person. Because suddenly somebody comes to you and starts talking to you. The biggest plus point for me was that I am a local. Like my
Mm,
parent, my father is from Uttarakhand. I understand the language, although I lived in New Delhi throughout my life, but I have a deep, deep connection with this, with Uttarakhand. So the moment they see, oh, she's also from Uttarakhand, she's a Joshi. Oh, okay, 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 they get that kind of confidence that she's not somebody who has come from some city to, you know. There is one lady. I will tell you this incident. There is a doctor who called me. He's like, Poonam, there is a 19-year-old girl who came. Her father has passed away. She has left her education because she can't afford the travel to and from her college. I'm like, oh my God, she shouldn't leave her education just because she can't afford travel. I'm going to go and meet her, and I'm going to make sure that she gets not her travel, not just the travel, but also anything else she needs. And her family started asking me questions like, where are you going to take our daughter? How far is it? They were literally thinking I'm going to pack their daughter, and put it in a suitcase and take her away with me. So I had to kind of convince them that no,
yeah.
no, I'm not taking her anyway. And she was not the only one. There were many people who
Yeah.
actually thought that, oh, Are these people going to take our children away, just because they are helping us, or
Yes.
they think that
The
our
fear.
kids need to be educated? So you
Yeah.
have to convince them,
Yes.
saying that no, we are here to help. Your kids
Yes.
will remain with you. We will just, you know,
Yeah,
watch.
I think it's
Watch
about
them.
it takes it. I'm sure it took them time to build the trust, and then once they got that, they were sure. Of course, the you being from Uttarakhand helped because you speak their local language, and yes, I'm sure your rapport building is like amazing. They must have felt at home immediately with you. Um, Poonam, I don't know. Today,
Also,
I
another thing is, like because of my surname, oh, she's a Joshi. They will treat you like, you are some queen who has come. Because if you end up going to a person's house who is of a lower caste, it is such a huge deal for them that somebody from a higher caste has come. I don't believe in this caste system at all.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't even ask which caste somebody belongs to before I go to their house or meet them or talk to them or help them even. But I know it is going to take us a while, but I am determined to not let our work stop with just this COVID
yes,
aftermath, but a
absolutely.
long term, work.
Yeah, it's an ongoing work, and we are going to be together in this. Triveni is going to be with you with ILUK all along. This is
Maybe
a
we all should come back here.
we
We should
should. I
all
think we
make a
should. It would
team,
be
and we should all
worthwhile.
come here and meet these women and see for
Yes,
yourself what we can do
yes,
for these women. Because when you
absolutely.
meet somebody personally, then that's when you make that connect.
Yes,
That's when you
yes,
feel, and you feel that no, I have to do something for
yes.
this lady for sure, isn't
Yes,
it?
absolutely, absolutely, perfect. And if from like we are doing this project of you started by you adopt a widow or an orphan, or sponsor a widow or orphan, little bit goes along a long way. We can all
Yeah.
take that step, little bit of a step, and see that whatever capacity we have,
Yeah.
if we can make that little bit of difference to somebody's life, for them it would be a huge, huge, huge thing in their life to get that little bit of help from us. So yes, Poonam, I thought today we'll keep it short, but then it's so engaging, your stories. I just could not have my heart to say, Poonam, we're going to end now. No, because I wanted those stories to be out, so that people know what work, and not only what work is going on, but the difficulties which people face. Because one is to fight with life, for when somebody's having COVID, to go to the hospital and to recover or not recover. The other thing is the other dimension, which you've just opened the whole thing to the world, the multiple challenges which people go through, particularly when they are from a uh, caste which is from the Harijan caste, the untouchables. The social connotations of those are huge.
Yeah.
And then the other challenges of them being poor, the roads being not travel worthy, they not having mobile phones, not having television, being totally disconnected from the rest of the world. So all these are something which it is a huge task, but we can only do what we can do, and we will do together. I'm sure we will do that. Like you have pledged, I on behalf of Triveni, we are pledging we'll be with you in this.
Thank you so much. That means a lot, Shanali. And I'm sure that, I've always said this, to do real charity, we don't need money. Money can be collected like this.
Yeah,
If we have people who connect with the cause, who have the empathy, is all we need. And the rest falls into place.
absolutely. Poonam, shall we have a look at some comments we got today?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Paul Mehta says, such desperate stories, but hope is a good thing. Shabuni Das says, wonderful, Shonali. And Shamal Siddhartha says, your concern for India is praiseworthy. We are really proud of you, Poonam. And Gurdas Dhawal says, connection to the world, which you're providing to these people. And Shibani says, I want those masalas, please. I will buy it. Yes, Poonam is
Right.
getting the samples and for all of us to try and place our orders.
Yeah.
Shivani says, we are following your footsteps, Poonam. Yes, we are. Definitely we are. Sonia says, we are all, you're all doing an amazing job. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you everyone who's been here, who's joined us, who's watched, and who's listened to the amazing stories, which engaging stories which Poonam had to share with us. I'm sure because Poonam, how long are you there in India now
I am here for this entire month.
for this entire month?
And yeah, because UK is asking to pay almost £2,000 for me to get back. And
Yeah,
I told my husband that £2,000 can easily be spent on, these very worthy causes. So I'm not going to give away that £2,000 to just stay in a hotel. I'm going to spend that for something really, really, worthy thing. So I'm not coming until the borders are open or there is another way to come get back. Yeah. So I'm here.
Uh, so we'll get more stories. Possibly we can do another one a few days later just to catch up on what you're doing, the kind of work,
Yeah,
and many more such stories will come up for us to share with our viewers and our friends. Um,
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Poonam. And I mean, absolutely no words can measure up to what you're doing. Really, this is the hard work which you're doing over there. And
Thank
I mean,
you
you
for
have
all
been
the support.
driving a 4x4 yourself to reach the interiors again amidst heavy rainfall, landslides, and all those difficult roads. Can it get any more dramatic, Poonam? So to me,
Well,
it just
the monsoon is on its way. The rains earlier were not were just a trailer. I think the real thing is going
oh
to happen now. And also, keeping in mind, the third wave is just around the corner. So things are
yeah,
only getting ready to become worse. So all everybody is trying their best to kind of keep the situation under control,
yeah,
so that the third wave is not as bad as the second
yeah,
one was, where people didn't get help or there was no awareness. And I'm hoping that some of those who have been now vaccinated, the death rates hopefully will go down because of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, it just sounds like a scene from a movie where Poonam Joshi is driving this 4x4 and going to all these places which are not reachable in the rain, in on bad roads, or through landslides. So life is indeed stranger than fiction, isn't it? It was.
It
It was.
is, it is. But I love this adventure. I don't know. It just when I'm doing something now, then I just don't care how I'm going to make it, or if I am in charge, I have to make the decision. I'll get up and I'm going. We are doing this. That is it.
Like I said, Poonam, you got the fire in the belly. Absolutely. So it was such a pleasure and an honor to have you with us this afternoon, Poonam. You inspire people, and then you will continue to do so with your selfless work.
I
And
am taking inspiration from women like you and many others I'm surrounded with, including the ones I am even helping. There is something to be inspired from, and it doesn't mean that because somebody is poor that I can't learn something from them, and I'm learning so much already.
oh yes,
So
yes,
thank you
absolutely.
for being my inspiration, so I am able to do all this.
Oh, you're most welcome, Poonam. Yeah, Triveni, like I said, Triveni is there with you all along throughout this journey. And I'm sure many of our viewers, our sponsors, and our family are with you. Thank you for joining us today, and best wishes, Poonam. Lots of
Thank you,
prayers for
Sonali.
your health, your safety, and happiness.
Thank
We
you.
shall definitely meet again soon.
Sure. Thank you. You have a lovely rest of the day. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome, Poonam. So, friends, we've just heard Poonam share all her stories, which was so engaging. Like I said, I actually thought today's episode was going to be really short, but then I just couldn't have the heart to end the session there. I had to listen to all her stories and wanted our viewers, I wanted you, our friends, to listen to her as well. So please do follow us on our work for COVID. We have a crowdfunding where you can donate. Every little that you give makes a big difference to some lives. And I would again thank our sponsors, C4 Integrated, Nature Bazaar, and Sri Krishna Vadapav for their generous support. We have a quiz for our viewers now. So are you ready for the quiz? So the quiz question is, I'm just trying to look at the question which I had written down. So the quiz question is, which state of India is Poonam currently volunteering in to help the people affected by COVID? So I am going to repeat the question, and and the winner is going to get a £20 voucher from Sri Krishna Vadapav to have a feast in their restaurant. So the quiz question again is, which state of India is Poonam Joshi currently from ILUK currently volunteering in to help the people affected by COVID? We'll wait a few more minutes to see if anyone's answered. Somebody's here. The answer is Gurdas Dawal says Uttarakhand. Well done, Gurdas. And congratulations, you've won the £20 voucher from Sri Krishna Vadapav. Thank you, and we'll soon send you the voucher so you can enjoy having their amazing food. So, so we have come to the end of our program today. It is my belief that together we will surely be able to get stronger, overcome the fear, and fight away the virus, and the world will be a safe place for us and our children again. We will have more events coming up on Triveni. Watch the space. Goodbye from me, Shonali, and the team Triveni for being with us today and watching a program. Take care, stay safe, and be happy. Bye.